I am going to elaborate more on a topic or a video that I did earlier because it's highly important. And why is it important? Because we need to change quickly. We need to evolve much quicker. That is why the being sent here 2,000 years ago was a highly advanced being. And his name was Jesus Christ, or what the church calls Jesus, Yeshua Bar Yosef. So I'm briefly going to cover a couple topics, just random stuff to show you what I'm talking about when I get into this. But it's really important for you to truly understand where he came from and what he did here while he was here. So it's kind of like Who Was the Real Jesus, my video. This is going to go into more depth about him. It's not going to be in-depth, but it's going to be that way. But I'm going to start talking about some basic principles, some truths that he talked about in that moment when he was here. Excuse me, guys, I'm thirsty. It's crazy weather we're having here in Wisconsin. On Friday, it was 73. Sun was out. It was beautiful. Saturday, overcast, cloudy, but it was like 65. Still pretty nice out. Now today, it's 20 degrees, and there's now about 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground, and it's snowing pretty hard. Now tomorrow it's supposed to be 53. I'm telling you, Wisconsin is the most bipolar state there is. So I highly advise you guys not to ever come here. So let's get going on this. Number one question I want to ask you guys, and I'll answer it. Why were we created? Who are we? And I told you this before. For the Father to create and experience who I am, he does it through us. We are God. And I told you that in my video of when I was having the discussion, I think it was World War III coming, when I said, I am God. I got a lot of flack for that. Well, I'm sorry to say that in the Bible, Jesus said, is it not written in your law that you are gods? You are God. I am a God. So why were we created? For our Father to create and experience who I am, right? He created it and he experiences it through us. Thus, we are creating God every day. All right? So our purpose as a soul is to experience ourselves as all of it. All of it. And I told you in my videos, in my near-death experience, I was everything in the moment that has ever existed or will ever exist. Who does that sound like, ladies and gentlemen? Part of what Jesus was teaching when he said, I and the Father are one. I was one with everything, meaning I am God. All right. And what was meant, or what was Jesus saying when he said, what is meant by whatsoever ye do unto the least of these, you do unto me? It's the law of one, ladies and gentlemen, right? Which is what I'm talking about, what Jesus was talking about, what highly advanced beings are. There is only one. So when you do something on to the least of these, the least of your brethren, say a homeless person, and you berate them and you tell them that they're a worthless piece of shit and they're unworthy of God's love, you're doing it to yourself. Right? And I get a lot of you asking me, Jason, how do you confront those who are really bullies and this and that? Look at it as an angrier version of yourself, someone who is lost. So to sit there and berate them, you do the least of these unto me. Meaning, you're just berating yourself. There's only one. All right? Yes, I'm reading from notes because I jotted down a lot of notes that I wanted to make sure I didn't forget. So Jesus lived in divine dichotomy. What is that? All right? Divine dichotomy simply holds the truth that it is possible for two apparently contradictory things to exist simultaneously in the same place. We'll give you just a quick example. Cold and hot, right? How can that possibly be? You be cold and at the same time be hot, but yet it happens. That's just a cheesy little example. I don't, that's not what I'm getting into here, okay? So as I've told you, and what Jesus taught you was the tools of creation. And I've told you, your thoughts create your reality. It's pretty simplistic there. But thought, you think it, you speak it out loud, the I am, remember, I am, and then action. You take action on it. That's how I started my YouTube channel. Thoughts create your reality. Thought, word, action. Those are the tools of creation. That is what Jesus was teaching you. How to create, how to manifest, how to become like him. All right? So the greatest vision of you, all of you, is me, right? That is who I am. All of you, that is the greatest vision of you. Or for God, all of us. That is who I am. As I told you before, very few of us on this earth are doing God's will. I am one of them. Most of you live in fear. Thus, rape, murder, hate, anger, violence. God is doing your will. We have free will. And that is what when Jesus said, I am the life and the way, all of these things come to me from the Father. Without the Father, I am nothing. I and the Father are one. Again, Jesus was talking about one. The church talks about separatism, right? That you are separate from God, that God is above you. He is better than you. He is waiting to harm you and send you to some place horrific and horrible. Jesus was teaching the truth. He was telling you who you are through example. When he said, I and the Father are one. There is only one of us. There has always been one of us. And when I said, a very small few of us, there are only two emotions here, guys. And I'm going to get into the video in a minute, but this is going to lead into what I'm talking about, so it's important, right? We have two emotions that we live by, the human species. Love, fear. 99.8% of you live here. Very few of us live without fear. Right? Very few of us. I no longer live in fear. There is no such thing. But, and I will explain to you, fear is that which you are not. An illusion. Fear is that which you are not. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Again, it's an illusion. And then again, fear is the opposite of love. This species lives by opposites. Hot, cold, right, wrong, good, bad. When they, in truth, don't exist. So you are then life expressing life. You are love expressing love. And you are God expressing God. Beautiful, beautiful. God, life, love, unlimited, eternal, and free. That is who you are. It's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Fear is an illusion. It does not exist. It is the opposite of love, like cold to hot, spring to winter, or summer to winter, whatever. So, getting into Jesus. Jesus was not of this earth, neither are we. Same thing, right? However, Jesus was not a human. So some of you say, well, was he an alien? Well, technically we're all aliens because we come from another realm. We don't exist here. We cannot exist here. All right? So Jesus was a highly evolved being. Highly evolved. He was living a life in another dimension on another planet. A much higher society, a highly advanced society. Not only in their civilization, their government, their work practices, their lovemaking practices, they were highly advanced. So when Father sought him out, that is where he went. All right? So like I said, Jesus came from another realm, a higher civilization, not of this earth. He became, in this lifetime as he knew it, growing up as a human, living life as a human, he became self-realized in one lifetime. For most of you, and including me, I became self-realized in this lifetime. That's why I told you I have very little lives to live after this, but he became self-realized, right? And what was his true mission? When I told you before what his mission was, I'm dumbing it down for you guys so you guys can understand. Like when Jesus spoke in parables, you have to understand why. Most of the population was beyond ignorant. They couldn't read or write. Very few could read or write. So Jesus spoke in parables. He spoke in stories, right? Because one, the church had the power to kill back then, and in fact, that's what they did, right? They murdered him. And two, he was living under occupation from the Roman Empire. He had to tread lightly, but he still didn't even do that very well because he didn't care. He didn't live in fear, all right? So what was his mission then? His mission was, and still is to this day, to save you, but not from eternal damnation, because remember, there is no such thing. If I am God, how can I damn myself to a place that doesn't exist? If you're all God, how can you damn yourself to a place that doesn't exist? So it's a hypothetical thing. Yes, he came here to save us, but it's not from eternal damnation, okay? Jesus simply came here to save you from not knowing and never experiencing or expressing who you really are, which is what I'm teaching you, right? That's what I experienced in my near-death experience. So he came here to save you from not knowing and never experiencing or expressing who you really are. That is which you are, one with the Father, God. He came to show you that. And his intention was to demonstrate by showing you what you could become, what you truly are, if you only accept it. He led by example. He showed you what a highly evolved being can do. And all what you know as the miracles. And it all comes from knowing who you are. And only accepting that you don't need to be saved, guys. There's nothing to save you from. Again, you are on a journey that goes to nowhere. There's nowhere for you to go. You are simply here trying to figure out who you really are. And that was his mission. And he chose to do that through examples on showing you and experiencing who you truly are, should you choose to accept this. But you all have been so programmed by the church, yes, by the church, that you are an unworthy sack of shit, unworthy of being saved. And again, Jesus taught oneness, that you were one with the Father. Church says you are separate from the Father. Completely different and untrue. When I told you in my near-death experience, I was one with everything. How could that possibly be when I did everything that stupid book said not to do? That's because the light that I experienced, that love that I experienced, was me giving it to myself. I was one with the Father. I am God. There's the self-realization, people. The church can fuck off, okay? I and the Father are one. For all that I am, I am. I am the life and the way. Follow me. So, when Jesus said that, let me find that, because I wrote it down. I am the life and the way. All of these things come to me from the Father. Without the Father, I am nothing. I and the Father are one, right? That's what he's saying. His intention was to demonstrate, showing you what you could become, what you are, and who you truly are, if you only accept it. That was his mission, and it still is to this day. He's a highly advanced being. Highly advanced. Came from a highly advanced civilization. And I don't want to get this too long, guys. I really don't. So, he sought to lead by example, and that's exactly what he did. He showed nothing but love, unconditional love, which is the law of one, by which highly advanced beings and civilizations live. There is no distinction between anyone, anywhere. The weakest link in the chain, you are only as strong as the weakest link, right? And it only takes one. And that one weakest link is not allowed. It is not allowed. Not meaning that you're unworthy or a piece of crap. That means they will not allow you to struggle. They will not allow you to be without. That means without a home, without food, without shelter. Everything you need to succeed will be given to you. Nobody in a highly advanced civilization is left without. For that means the whole planet has just sunk, and that is unacceptable. And that is where Jesus came from. So, what are some examples of highly advanced beings? And this had to be very difficult for Jesus. When highly advanced civilizations look down on us, and we're the black sheep of the universe, there's maybe 3 or 4 civilizations throughout the entire universe that are below us. We are the black sheep. When they look at us and say somebody had stepped out of line, or they were doing this or doing that, they're shown earth there. And they're like, whoa, okay, yep, I was wrong. Let's get back up and go. We're the black sheep of the universe, ladies and gentlemen. The black sheep. We are the example of what not to do. That's pretty embarrassing. That is highly embarrassing to me. It's disgusting how primitive we are. Because you think you hold an iPhone or the iPad that I'm on, or our computer. No, ladies and gentlemen, we're still in diapers. We're on the 10-yard line. We're in preschool. We're still shitting ourselves. While there are gravity drives, interstellar travel throughout the Milky Way, also interdimensional travel is taking place. Star Wars, Star Trek, except there's no fighting among them. That's the only difference. There's no any of that. There's just love, which is what Jesus taught. So, some basic examples, and then I'm going to let it go at that. Who Jesus was and where he came from. In a highly advanced civilization, from highly advanced beings, they look at us and say, why are you wearing clothes? Why are we wearing clothes? To them, it is incomprehensible. With them, there is no shame and there is no no modesty. Their bodies are beautiful, every single one of them. So for us to wear total body clothing is inconceivable to them. There is no shame, none, for they are all one, and they live through love. So for us, when they look at us, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are being looked at every single day by highly advanced beings, and they're rooting for us. They're like, come on, guys, you can do this. And I'm a part of that now to help us advance to that higher level of consciousness, that oneness that I am with all of you. My love for all of you is why I am teaching, why I am here doing these things. So they walk around without clothes on. There is no shame. Many of you females out there want to walk topless, and you should. There is no shame in your body. You should be able to walk around naked. We should all. But Jason, like right now, I can't walk around naked outside. It's 20 degrees out and it's snowing. I would freeze to death. See, in their society, In their highly advanced beings, they control the weather. There are no tornadoes. There are no earthquakes. There are no volcanoes. There are no tsunamis. There are no snowstorms. There are no extreme weather. It's what you would say, 70 degrees, 75 degrees, beautiful and sunny. Maybe a rainstorm here or there for things to live and grow. There's no need for them to wear clothing. Therefore, they do not. So again, I ask all of you, why are you wearing clothes? That's one of the main difference. Number one main difference. They're appalled that we're so ashamed of our bodies. Where did that come from? The church told you we're a worthless sinner. Well, they know the truth, guys. They know the truth. All right. Second, and I agree with this, they want to know why we spend so much time in boxes. Your home, your apartment. They are out and about in nature. Yes, butt naked, and they're out and about. And if they would walk by and someone's making love in the field, means absolutely nothing to them. They're like beautiful. It's just like window shopping. They keep walking, keep doing their thing. We spend way too much time in our houses, and I am a big one on that. Why? That means I have to run into all of you. I know, I love you, but I like my autonomy. That's going to change, though, with my twin flame coming soon, very soon. So, and they are one, and the third thing is they are one with the environment. They are one with everything, not only themselves, with their partners, with their children or their offspring, with their neighbors, with everything, but they are also one with the environment. Excuse me, guys. And they treat it as such. So when they look at us destroying the very thing that we need to live, cutting down the rainforest at a horrific rate, just so we can eat meat. And there you go, why I no longer will ever eat meat, ever again. Period. Fish, chicken, or steak. It is now gone from my life. I will never go to the grocery store and buy any of it. It is primitive. They do not eat something that was once alive. They do not eat dead flesh from an animal. And I will no longer ever do that again. Period. I'm finishing up the meat that I have, and I went grocery shopping and I bought salad, nuts, fruits, pasta, stuff like that. But I will never eat meat again. It is extremely primitive. All right. So they are one with the environment. So when they plant fruits and vegetables, before they even harvest it, they ask that being inside that vegetable or fruit if they would surrender themselves for them to eat. Before they even touch it, they ask that being in that radish, that carrot, that tomato, if they would please leave so they could eat. And they eat very, very little. So, but before they do, they ask permission. They just don't go out there, take a gun and shoot it or stab it or whatever. They ask permission. And the way they communicate is far different than we do. Do you remember when I told you we were not abandoned here, right? God gave us 2 keys. And I've told you about that. One, our guidance system, right? Which is love. When you're in love and you're happy, laughing, goofing around, you're in alignment with your higher self. When you're mad, angry, hateful, want to hurt somebody, you are off kilter. And that's your higher self saying, hey, your feelings, right? They communicate. Higher advanced civilization and beings, they communicate through their feelings. They are aware of them. Not only are they aware of them within themselves, they are aware of them in others. They can feel everybody else around them. Not just see them, they can feel them. That is their main source of communication, their feelings. And with those feelings, they look at us and feelings, and if you know that through love, right? When you're in that moment of love, how it feels, right? It's an amazing feeling. And that is the way they communicate. And that is the language of the soul. The soul does not want limitations on it. It does not like it. And many of you experience that in a relationship. Well, I'm going to be kind of vulgar here. When you get into a relationship, well, I'm just me. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to have anal sex. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that, right? Automatically, limitations. And eventually that turns into resentment. And then it becomes downright hatred. Why? The soul does not like limitations. We are free. We are loved. We are limitless. We do not like limitations. And this person will have none of that. I will have no limitations placed on me whatsoever. And that is why I have been single for 10 years now. And then now, after my NDE, there is no way I'll have anybody put limitations on me. None. That is why I'm transitioning into this field, because I will no longer sit in a warehouse and have limitations put on me. No, we are free, all of us. Well, there's only one, so that is how they communicate. And it's through love. Highly advanced beings, ladies and gentlemen. And one concept that they cannot understand in any way, shape, and form, and it goes through our feelings, is lying. There is no lying. They see absolutely no purpose in lying. They don't understand it, because it goes against the very first law. We are all one. Why am I lying? That means you're not being true to yourself, your true self. You are not in tune with who you are. So it's inconceivable for a highly advanced being, just like Jesus. Jesus never lied, as I've been told that many times. He saw no purpose in it. It's disgusting. If we can't be truthful with ourselves, you cannot be truthful with others. And that goes into the feelings, how they communicate. So, can you see where I'm going with this? Can you see how basically uncivilized this species is? We need to wake up. So the main difference then between a highly advanced being such as Jesus and his community and his home, and us, simpletons, human beings, right? Primitive, beyond primitive. One, they observe, they watch fully, in depth, and they communicate truthfully. Everything Jesus did, he sought to lead by example. We have to change, guys. And I am teaching you this. I am bringing this information to you. I love you. I mean, I want you to wake up and realize, like Jesus said, who you are. I want you to experience who you are in the moment of now, to not remember who you are. Because right now, this is your future self, and you are in the process of remembering. When you look up in the night sky, it doesn't exist. When you saw that beautiful blood moon that I was out there filming at 2 o'clock, which was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it was beyond beautiful. I was awestruck by its beauty, but I also had to remember what I was looking at wasn't there. It's the past, it doesn't exist. So I am in the process of remembering. I am in the process of becoming the master. And I know these things. All right? I'm going to keep it there. I don't want to go any further than that. I love you guys. I do it for you. I don't do this for me. I know the truth. I don't have to do this for me. All right? I love you guys. This Friday, I will be on. So look for me then. Normal time, 7 p.m. Central, I'll be on. If you have comments, questions, put them down there. You know I love hearing them. I will answer them. And again, a shout out to all my collective that I truly did not ever see coming. I'm beyond grateful. Without you, the channel would be dead. It wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be getting this information out to you. And my subscriptions have gone down, and my watch hours have gone way, way down. But that's because there's so many now AI-generated content out there that it's taking away from me, and it's taking away from other truthful NDEers who are putting out content as well, very, informative content. So I encourage you, and I have never said this, and I don't like saying it because that's not what this channel is. Watch it. Watch all the videos. Share them. Talk about them. Communicate them. We're all one. All of us need this information. It's the mustard seed. It's the journey of the innocent little soul. So like and subscribe. Share it with others so they can see it. And I don't like saying that. I don't like promoting it. It's not who I am. But we've run out of time, guys, and that's why I'm asking you this. So, and for all those who have supported the channel monetarily, financially, I am beyond grateful. I truly am. I'm awestruck. Again, I never expected any of this to happen. So, thank you for all of it. I truly enjoy doing these videos. I truly enjoy the live sessions and being with you guys, because that is what I came to this earth to do, to be the teacher that I am. I love all of you guys. I hope you enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you Friday night. Bye, guys.